Hello and welcome to page 14 of volume 2 of my graphic novel of comic strips titled Found Earth. Several things to talk about. First one is the experiment with the brush pen. I believe was a success with the page 51 that I just finished for volume 2. Yeah, I think it worked out great. I have to simplify the shapes. There's a little less squigglies and Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane kind of squiggly line doodling going on, but it breaks it down to a much simpler page and looks more like a Jeff Smith from Bone. I think it turned out great. I think it looks wonderful, and I think I will continue with that for as long as I can. And maybe that will develop into the new style. If it takes 3 years to draw something, the style is going to change. I can't stay consistent through the entire thing. That would require me to make my art development stay put, and that is not a reasonable request for an artist. You have to keep changing and growing and developing, or else you become stagnant and bored, and you eventually quit or die. And so that is where I'm at with this, and why I make the decisions that I do. I have a cat attacking me, wanting to be in my lap, so I may sound distracted here every once in a while. So this page has a spider who is acting like a tyrant and declaring that he rules over everybody and that they all submit to him. And then out of the blue, a hand comes and smacks him off of his throne or his hill or whatever, king of the hill. And there's always somebody bigger. And I think that therein will start one of many lessons on this kind of topic for these pages as they go on. You have to be very careful declaring yourself to be over somebody else. One that usually is based off of a false pretense or a false understanding. And two, very rarely is it true that you're actually at the top of the heap. There's most likely, almost always, somebody above you who can knock you off your pedestal. And that's something to be aware of when you're thinking about things. You can't go through life thinking that you're better than somebody else. As a person or as an individual. Now, you might be better at a sport or a skill or some kind of talent, and that's, unless it's a highly subjective field, there's always somebody better in that as well. So you have to be really careful how you puff yourself up. And I think that's your lesson for this video. Because remember, I'm recording this for not only you, the current listener, but also to future generations. And I always imagine that my kids will see this growing up, or my grandkids will see this when they're growing up, or some nephew or niece, or some great descendant or something. Will see these things as I'm long gone, but the digital world will live on forever, I imagine, in some format or another. Kind of an immortality, I think, to record something and post it online. So, another thing to discuss is that I've reached a page in my comic book, I guess it's page 52 in volume 2, that doesn't seem complete. I seem to have just kind of blown over it, and it's just a continuation of the previous page. And so I'm finding myself having to write it on the fly. When I wrote these, I was writing it with the thought that it would be for submission to a syndicate for a newspaper and daily publishing. However, that is no longer the case, and it wouldn't be any way to make any kind of money anyway off of this. So I switched to the whole page format and the webcomic and the graphic novel format, and now I'm at this point where I have this page, and it's just kind of redundant and repetitive and redundant, and so I'm having to rewrite it on the fly. And the thought has occurred to me that since I've told one page from the point of view of the pterodactyls, I'll tell another page from the point of view of the ants, who occasionally show up and almost get stepped on. But I think I'll go with the little ant named Todd, who was always getting yelled at for not being as productive as the rest of them. I'll have to continue the actual story that I'm doing, but I'll just tell it from Todd's point of view. I look forward to seeing how that works out. I'll probably draw it this Friday. It's Wednesday now. I'm having to space things out plenty because I'm missing work due to my grandma Dunlap dying this week. Well, she died Friday, but we had Easter, and so there was a long delay between that and the funeral. So I'm a pallbearer for that, and it's not the happiest moment in my life. And I feel like even though this is going on, that I should keep doing this, that I should keep working forward, that is keeping focus on what I'm doing is keeping my head on straight, I think. That's where I find my sanity, I think. But, so yeah, I'm working that out on the fly. I'll probably write it tonight before I head off to the funeral, the visitation or whatever it is. Viewing, it's the viewing. And then from there, I'll probably just not do anything Thursday, and then on Friday, recovering from the funeral and all that drama that goes with it, I will try to draw it out. I believe I'll have some time this weekend as well to maybe ink it, so I'm hoping to get it penciled on Friday, maybe even finished completely on Friday, and then that would leave Saturday open to do whatever. Deviating slightly from my normal schedule. I think I will also be changing the schedule when I do the work, maybe just a little bit at a time every day, and go from there, so that I don't get stagnant, and so that it works better with my family. And so that's where I'm at, and I appreciate everybody who's watching this and sees it. If you're on YouTube, come check out the Patreon /Alan Dunlap. You'll get the scanned versions of the pages, and it'll be cool, and you can print them off and color them. And you can support me making even more artwork by helping me buy supplies and paper and pens and pencils and such. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks, Joe.